Good morning. It is 7:45-ish. We've just been in the car a really long time. I'm a little apprehensive about how far we have to go. Homer just dropped us off at Petite Gap. And supposedly this is about 18.7 back to our car at Jennings Creek. Last night was interesting. Karaoke went on till at least 9, maybe 10, we don't know.
Bam, 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 bam,
Yeah.
bam.
So, lesson learned. Mill Creek Campground was amazing on a weeknight. On the weekend, bring your earplugs or be a very heavy sleeper. But we're going to just take our time and hopefully we haven't bitten off more than we can chew again. We are 2.2 in. We have climbed 1,350 feet. So we just stopped for a minute and maybe like 5. We have 16.5 to go. Thunder Hill, I think it is, Thunder Mountain, Thunder Hill Shelter is 2.5 miles away. So that seems like a good next stopping point. Homer said once we climbed up, it was not too bad for a good long way. So hopefully his interpretation of a good trail and ours is the same. Did a cinematic pan from up here on Thunder Ridge Overlook. We got a little bit of service. We're talking to our son and grandkids. We are 3.3 in. Well, we just had a little break at the Overlook that was not in our every 2 miles, but we'll take it. And we met Coach and Garmin, and they were slacking this direction. They did the section we're doing yesterday, and said, you know, brutal downhill, which we're expecting. We were able to check the weather, and if it can be believed, we should be in pretty good shape as far as no rain until about 5. So hopefully we won't get stuck in that descent. We have arrived at the Guillotine. Very cool rock formation. I don't think it's particularly difficult to get through, but it's interesting. Very neat. That's really cool. I hope it doesn't pick now as a time to fall. This sort of reminds me of Stone Door in some ways, except for the rock part. Yeah, very cool. Here on Apple Orchard Mountain, there is a weather tower. Oops, a little too close. And we've just kind of been running up. Pretty soon we're going to start the descent. But it's not been a bad trail. Overall, pretty good hike so far. Oh, morning glories. We are about 2.5 miles from the Cornelius shelter. It's about 11:30. We're going to stop there for lunch. This is some beautiful woods that we've popped down into. We've been going downhill. I think we have another probably 700 down and 500 up in the next 2 miles. So I remember looking, and there was like 2 mountains that we were going to have to go up and down in this 18 miles. So that's probably what we're doing now, is bouncing from one to the other. But we'll be there and have some lunch and take a break. This is the Cornelius Creek shelter. We stopped here and had lunch with a few bees that were very interested in what we were doing. Once we went outside the shelter to stretch our feet up, they left us alone. But
Honeybees.
yes, honeybees. We have 8.7 left to go, and it's time to go do it. It started to just sort of spit rain because, of course, you know, we got away from the shelter. But it was weird because, like, the sun would be out and it would be raining, and I'm not convinced it's not still going to rain more, but I haven't even bothered to put on a raincoat or put up an umbrella or anything. Honestly, it felt good. I was already hot from sweat. Just put on a ball cap so my glasses stay clean. We climbed again. I know we've got this horrible descent coming up, but it hadn't happened yet. I had to restart my watch. That's a whole nother drama and trauma I'm not going to go into, but we've gone, let's see, it was 10 miles before lunch, so we've gone about 11.5 miles. We have been being threatened with more storms, and they seem a little more intense. We're about 1.5 miles from Bryant shelter, which, of course, when you're trying to run away from a storm is an eternity. But just going to keep up the pace. Oh, look, there's a little red F. Hi, buddy. He's a cutie. But all we can do is all we can do. If it gets too intense, we can stop and huddle under the ground cover. Or Rich has his umbrella up. I'm just walking in it because right now it's not bad. But we're hearing thunder and we've seen some lightning. So who knows? Hopefully we won't get another monsoon like the other day. Well, we just took a break at that amazing shelter and met Turtlefish and Trouble. And they are pulling 18s until they get to Harper's Ferry. And then they're going to take the train and flip up to Katahdin and start SOBOing. So we actually may run into them up there. We have, how much farther do we have? 3.5 miles, 4 miles?
It's like 3.7.
We have 3.7. But we got to climb like 900 more feet up and then go down a whole bunch. So, you know, it's going to be a long day. But at least it stops raining, so that's good. Well, I saw my first bear. He was running that way. He wasn't super big. He was big enough, and I'm glad he went the other direction. I guess he was hanging out in these campsites. I don't know. But that's the first bear we've seen on the AT. Huh. Yeah, this climb is brutal. He heard me huffing and puffing from miles away, I'm sure. Well, cool. Saw a bear. We have about 1/2 mile left and maybe 300 more to go down. I had been dreading this last downhill all day, and it's really so far not been that bad unless they're going to just do something terrible at the very last second. But we've had more than one person tell us about problems with people at the tenting where our car is. So we probably won't be doing any filming there. We're going to probably just skedaddle. And then we got to figure out where we're sleeping. Hi there.
We are at the Comfort Inn in Lexington.
I think it's actually Quality Inn, but yeah, it's a nice hotel, and it wasn't too expensive. We had to venture out because Stanimals was full, and so we figured this town had the most hotels, and it worked out. We were gonna go to Devil's Backbone to their tap room and eat dinner, but they closed before we got there.
Unfortunately, they were closed.
Yeah, that's too bad. But today we did 18.7. And it was a pretty good hike. Saw my first bear. I saw the back end of my first bear. He was running away, which I'm glad he was. I didn't want to have too close of an altercation.
Yeah.
The Bryant shelter was super cool.
Yeah, it reminded us of the shelters up north.
Right.
Big double-decker thing. It was really nicely built.
Had a little bit of rain, but nothing. I mean, I never even put a raincoat on. I put my umbrella up for a second. The descent down to Jennings wasn't as bad as I was fearing.
The first bit of the hike was hard. There was a lot of climbing. We climbed up, I don't know. And I think we did like about 4,500 feet of climbing today.
I think it was 4,500 up and 6,000 down, according to Far Out.
But the treadway was pretty nice and smooth most of the way. There were a few rocks and stuff. We went, I'm actually going to change my shoes over to the Pro Ventures for a rock plate. Who knew you needed a rock plate in Virginia? Yeah, a lot of Pennsylvania stuff up through here, little sections of it.
Yeah, we both had some pains in the bottom of our feet that we didn't have the day before, but I guess it's just overnight.
To compare this almost 20-mile stretch to that last almost 20-mile stretch we did was completely different. This was so much better.
Yeah, much better, and the weather was better too. But we're going to get up in the morning and do our laundry, all that stuff, and then maybe go in and try to talk to the folks at Stanimals. We have that 10 miles from Petite Gap into Glasgow to do, and then we've got to figure out the rest of the trek.
Yeah, we're hoping if we run over there around lunchtime tomorrow, we can secure one of their rooms for tomorrow night and just post up over there for a couple of days and do some slacking around there, and then.
But if that's not possible, we'll just commute back and forth from a hotel wherever we can find it.
Yeah, we just have to work out.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll slack us. I don't know. We have to see.
We'll see. But thanks for watching.
See you, kids.